Hey guys, what's going on? This is DarthArma, just trying to explain a little bit of what's going on up against Michelangelo. I don't know if a lot of people are getting really frustrated with what's happening. You're getting hit by the low, you can't seem to jump out of anything, you can't seem to block anything because it's hitting you overhead and low. So the first thing you want to do to prepare against this is go to training room, pick player 1 as your main character, my main character being Joker, and then pick player 2 to be Michelangelo, and you could either switch it over to controlling player 2 or you can just go straight into recording. Now, the first thing you're going to realize, the first string that's really going to be the demise of you, especially when you're stuck in the corner, is Michelangelo's back 2-2-3 string. Now, back 2-2-3 is this move right here. It is safe, not frame-wise, but because it pushes back enough, it leaves him in a safe range even though he's still -8 or 9. So, again, you want to watch out and realize, that these are the strings. Now, for those of you guys who are a little bit new to fighting games and don't understand what overheads are or lows are in this game, overheads are moves that require you to block standing. That means you cannot block it while crouching. Lows are the exact opposite. These are moves that require you to block while crouching. And if you're standing, you're going to get hit even if you're trying to block. So that's really like the main core of the mix-up in a lot of fighting games, especially Mortal Kombat fighting games and Injustice 2. You also have the whole thing on crossing up, being over to the other side. That's kind of when your inputs switch over. Once you flip over to the other side, back is no longer back, it's forward, and forward is no longer back, it's back. It gets all wacky. Wrong side, you don't block it right, that's a cross-up. Cross-up like that. But the main thing I want to focus on is the overhead into the low. This is the main string you want to be very aware of. And so what this is back 2-2-3, and after the overhead, you cancel into the low. So this kind of sets up like a hard to block where it's like you're standing and then you go into crouching. So it's a real great and easy way to eat through scrubs who don't know what to do, don't know how to block, because this spinning low leaves Michelangelo at a +9 advantage here. I have it highlighted already. +9. That means when it hits, Michelangelo can move 9 frames before his opponent can. But it is super unsafe, and the reason why is because when you block it, Michelangelo has 13 frames of recovery. That means you have 12 frames to swing at him before you can actually block, before you can actually jump, before you can backdash, before he can do anything, because he's recovering, getting up off the ground. So, all right, so again, AI options, we're going to set the AI dummy, which is Michelangelo, to record here. Let's see if we got it frame perfect or not. Okay, I tried to jump back out of it, just like that, and actually wouldn't let me do it. If I did get it frame perfect, yes, I did. Holding up actually won't get you out of it either. It takes 2 frames to get up off the ground, so as long as you're frame perfect, so you're at +9, you do Michelangelo's back 2, which starts up in 10 frames, only giving your opponent a 1 frame gap to do anything, which in this game literally means you cannot do anything. I believe you should be able to super afterwards. No, you can't even super afterwards. I guess it takes more than a frame. It takes more than a frame there to go for a super. But the point is that after this, if you try to jump, if you try to do anything but block, you are going to get hit and you're going to continue in this vortex. So the first thing you need to do is learn this block pattern. So as soon as you see those nunchucks, you know the overhead's coming. Overhead and then the low. Once you have that established, it's going to be a lot easier to deal with Michelangelo, especially because, let's just go back to record. I'm holding down back right afterwards just so I don't get punished. And this is a tight and very tough move to punish. So this is kind of like why Michelangelo's get away with it. Same reason why Robins get away with Assassin's Strike. It's just not the easiest, and it's a pretty tight punish. And you can't even, do it preemptively because you have to watch out for the fact that there's multiple hitting things afterwards. There should be 3 hits when he's spinning on the ground. Again, super tight. There's a stand 1-1 punish. Stand 1-1 with Joker is a little weird because it hits as a high, but if you're one of those characters that can thankfully and graciously convert from a down 1 This is going to be a lot easier if you have a little bit more of a window and you can really do damage. So if you play a character like Black Adam, you can do down one into trait into whatever combo you wanted. Unfortunately, Joker doesn't really get much from his down one. All he can really get is down one crowbar or down one death spin after getting hit. But the point is, you need to understand that the low is going to mean Michelangelo's death if you guess right. But what happens a lot is a lot of people just let him get away with whatever, with this over and over again because they're not punishing him. If you punish him and make him hurt and make up for the damage that he got through, you know, Guess City, just guessing right on you, it's gonna nullify the advantage that he seems to have on you. Now, Michelangelo, you know, it's not just one layer of mix-up. He can actually mix this up even more. So we were anticipating the overhead low normally. He can go for a cross up there, but that's not what I wanted to do. So normally we see this. Sorry, guys. Normally we see this, overhead into the low, but he can do that if you're anticipating the overhead. Overhead into the low, or straight down into the low. Very risky stuff here. Again, just straight into the low, or even faking it into an overhead. So anticipating the overhead to come out and canceling into the low, very annoying stuff. But the point is that every guess he has to take a risk, a huge risk. So here we are, anticipating the overhead, and then we get hit for the low, and then we go back into the blender, and he goes 2-2, so we can't jump back 2-2, so we can't jump out of it. Very, very annoying stuff. The other thing he can do also, well, not that one because the overhead's normally there. Normally right after the overhead, when he usually cancels into the low, he can cancel into an overhead shell drop instead. Instead of doing this low, he'll go for that. So I was talking during it, didn't get a little bit of the record, but that's okay. Whether they get hit by the overhead or not, it's still going to be doing something. That's me getting hit by the overhead because I thought he was going to go straight into the low. But this time, let's anticipate the overhead and anticipate low. And wow, we got opened up. Michelangelo has a lot of options in terms of mix-up, especially when he's got you in the corner. He can really make you hurt, and it's almost unseeable. Like, it's so hard to react to it and understand that it is coming. So, guys, I hope this cleared up a lot. Again, understand where the overheads are, understand where the lows are, and understand that for a very unsafe risk, he can cancel into a low or into an overhead. You guys just have to kind of take it to training room and make sure you know how to punish it. Here, again, here's the overhead. And this one's also a little tough when he meter burns it. But again, it all depends on your character. It depends on what your character has. Again, very specific timing. You have to understand that he is going to guess right a lot. But all you really need is to guess right a few times as long as your punishes are on point. You need to make sure you hurt him for going for these crazy mix-ups into the lows. Alright guys, I just want to go over one more thing here. This is a frame perfect setup here. I'm trying to jump up back and I'm staying on the ground, so I have to block. But I do have one option that I forgot to mention. So after getting hit by the low spin, you can actually backdash and, you know, try to set something up. The point is that you have a little bit of breathing room between yourself and your opponent. But the main thing you need to understand is that Michelangelo can stop this. So all he has to do after doing this is going for the forward 2. The forward 2 will chase down your backdash. It hits you like right when your invincibility frames are done and over with, and you're vulnerable to an attack. It's just a perfect move right afterwards. So again, backdashing, getting hit, going into the low. Not only is that, you know, a way to stop backdashes, but it's also kind of like a mix-up all in itself. If you're crouching, you're going to get hit by the overhead. So the Michelangelo can go for, you know, things like low straight again. Let's see if that catches backdash. It actually does. So there is a anti-backdash setup where he can start as a low or start as overhead. It'll chase down backdashes either way, and if they don't backdash, it's either a low or an overhead mix-up. But I believe he can be able to jump out if he thinks you're going for that. No, you still get hit, but you do get out of the pressure. The point is, it's an option, and Michelangelo can stop it. You need to be aware of all your opponent's options. So guys, I am DarthArma. I hope you guys learned a lot about what's going on with Michelangelo, why he's such a pesky character, and why it's so tough to, get around. But I showed you where the overheads are, I showed you where the lows are, and, what options you do have once you're in those bad situations. Guys, I'm DarthArma. You can follow me on Twitter, on YouTube, or on Twitch at DarthArma. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel for more Injustice 2 action, plus any other game that I'm playing. And if you guys love this video, make sure you press the like button. Thank you so much.